Do you ever want to express yourself in English and tell somebody that they are annoying you and you want them to go somewhere else, but you don't want to use the worst words in English? Well, if that's the case, then I've got you covered, because in this lesson, I'm going to teach you 14 alternatives to tell somebody to go away in a very bad word. You know the word, the one that begins with F and the second word is off. I'm not going to say it in this video, but if that's the case, here are 14 politer alternatives to those bad words. Hello everybody, I'm Roy Woodhouse and welcome to English Right Now. In this lesson, you're going to learn all about those alternatives to saying something really rude. Now, I am a British English teacher and we talk about all things related to British English and a modern British RP accent. And today, we're looking how to tell somebody to go somewhere else in a politer way. So let's dive in. Now, the first thing I do need to say is that even if you use politer language, asking somebody to give you space to go away is still quite confrontational. So be very, very careful. Maybe it's just easier sometimes to walk away yourself. But if it's the case where you feel you need to express yourself, but you don't want to use the worst swear words, then this is the lesson for you. So first of all, let's talk about that bad word. Now, I told you before, I'm not going to say it in this video, but we commonly refer to that word that starts with an F as the F word. The F word. Sometimes say, maybe you want to use it to say to somebody, hey, don't use the F word. It's an alternative to that bad word. We say the F word. And sometimes instead of actually saying the word and the preposition off to tell somebody to go away, we sometimes just say F off. F off. Everybody knows what it means. Everybody knows what it's referring to in British English. But as well, it is still quite rude, even though we're not actually using the word. So in this lesson, we're going to look at some politer alternatives. And the first one is leave me alone. Leave me alone basically just means just get away from me and I want to be alone. To leave me alone. Now, as I said, some of these can be quite confrontational because you're basically saying you're annoying me, leave me alone. Just leave me alone. Another one that you will commonly hear in the UK is get lost. Get lost. It's a way to say to somebody to just go away, to disappear. Get lost. Oh, just get lost, will you? Now, a slightly funny one is go play in the traffic. Go play in the traffic. It's kind of a bit serious when you break it down. It's like go and get yourself killed by running through the cars. But effectively, we're telling them that we don't want them to be here and we would sooner them go and do something really dangerous, go and play in the traffic, because they definitely wouldn't come back. But this one is quite funny, but again, it's still a bit confrontational. Why don't you just go and play in the traffic? That'd be nice. Now, a verb you can use is scram. Scram. Now, this one you could probably use with a child that's annoying you. You just tell them to go away, to scram. This is a verb which basically means leave. Oh, please, just scram. Clear off is another way, a bit like get lost. It basically means go away. Clear off is the first one that uses that preposition off, and it's an alternative to F off. Clear off is another way of saying that, but it's not as rude. But of course, again, asking somebody to leave is a little bit rude. Clear off? Why don't you just clear off? Now, on the slightly more vulgar scale, slightly ruder, we have bugger off and a bonus sod off. So technically in this lesson, I'm going to tell you 15 alternatives to F off, and F off is an alternative, so I suppose you've got 16. Now, bugger off and sod off can be seen as quite vulgar and very mild sort of swear words. It has the same meaning as F off or clear off, but it's sort of halfway between. So bugger off and sod off can be used. Now, again, these can sort of be used with friends as well. I'll just bugger off. If you make your tone quite sort of friendly, you could just say bugger off. But this is the key with all swearing. A lot of it is about intonation. So bugger off and sod off are two alternatives, but again, they're slightly more vulgar than others on this list. Bugger off. Yeah, bugger off. Go on. Sod off. Come on, sod off. Oh, just sod off. Go away is quite literal. It basically means go somewhere else. Go away. Go away, go anywhere, don't care where, go away. Go away. Go away. Look, just go away. Now, slightly more old-fashioned would be sling one's hook. Sling your hook. It's the same idea of go away, leave me alone, but it's a bit more old-fashioned, but you may still hear it amongst sort of more mature people or even in some films and TV shows, to sling your hook. Why don't you sling your hook? This one is one that I really love. It's on your bike. On your bike is another way, of course, to say go away, but it's quite funny. It means like get on your bicycle and ride away. On your bike. On your bike. On your bike. Or get on your bike. Get on your bike. On your bike with you. Bog off is slightly informal. It's got a similar meaning to bugger off, but it's not as strong. Now, bog off is quite interesting because in marketing, there is a thing where people say bog off because it's an acronym of buy one, get one free. Often in supermarkets, they'll say bog off for buy one, get one free. If you're buying one thing and you're getting another one of the same thing for free, bog off. But with the preposition off, it's slightly vulgar and it does mean to go away. Yeah, bog off. And a slightly politer version of that would be to buzz off. Oh, just buzz off. Leave me alone. Buzz off, again, same meaning, but slightly politer than maybe bog off, and certainly politer than bugger off or sod off. Just buzz off. Back off. Back off is slightly confrontational. Maybe you're finding somebody a little bit too intense, too annoying. Maybe they're sort of really having a go at you and you're telling them to back off. It basically means give me space, but it also has this idea that you're maybe feeling they're being aggressive with you and you're asking them to calm down and to back off. Back off. Back off. I'm finding you really intense. Now, the next one is a really funny one. I quite enjoy this one. It's got a similar kind of feeling to that go and play in the traffic, but this one is take a long walk off a short pier. Take a long walk off a short pier. It's another idea of basically just drown yourself, kill yourself, don't come back, but of course it's quite humorous. You're telling somebody to take a long walk off a short pier. So if you imagine a pier goes out into the water and you take a long walk, the pier is short, you take a long walk, blup. So it's another word, it's another way of saying go away. It's slightly humorous. Nobody's going to be too offended by this one, but it's another way of saying F off, but in a slightly humorous way. I've got an idea. Why don't you take a long walk off a short pier? And the last one is a very, very British version, and it is do one. Just do one. Go do one. Do one. Do one, the same meaning. It's asking somebody to leave, but this is typical British slang. To do one. Come on, mate, just do one. So there we have it. 14, which is actually sort of 16 alternatives now to a very rude way of asking somebody to go away and give you some space. Let me know if you know any other alternatives, polite alternatives, and I do stress polite alternatives for that very rude expression in the comments below. But if you enjoyed this video, please do give it a like and consider subscribing for more content like this. But from me today, all it leaves me to say is thank you for spending time with me, and I'll see you in the next lesson.